70 WOCA.
Thank you. It's 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. It looks a little overcast this morning. Do you know what I like sometimes when I wake up? Do you know what I like to feel? I know it's kind of weird, and maybe not. But I like feeling, like, once in a while, you get the feeling in the air that you are near the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really sure why that happens. I don't know if the salt in the air, because you know when you wake up, like if you have a place on the beach, or you spend a night at a hotel on the beach,
Yeah.
and you got a balcony on the beach
I
facing the
love
water,
that.
and then you wake up and you go to that balcony and you got your coffee and you got this beautiful sunrise over in Daytona or wherever it may be, and then the salt air, I guess you call it, the thick wet air or something.
Yeah, right,
I don't know
right.
what to call it, but it's got this feel, right? You don't feel that here very often because we're in the middle of the state. We're far enough away. But once in a while,
Yeah.
I get up really early, so I don't know that it's still out there at this time of day, although it might. It sort of kind of looks like that outside right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But once in a while, very, very rarely. And every time I feel that, it makes me want to go over to the coast. It makes me want to do. In my younger days, I was driving over to Ormond and Daytona all the time.
Oh, me
I was
too.
over there all the time.
Me too.
When I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico, the same thing happened, sort of, kind of, because in Albuquerque the air is really dry. And one morning, early morning, I got up. I was at a Motel 6, and I was walking to the Waffle House, I guess, to get a coffee. Oh no, maybe I think they had coffee, complimentary coffee. Besides the point. But anyway, as I'm walking, I can feel this morning air, and it reminded me of way back when I was in California, in Santa Monica. And it was like, wow, it's amazing how the morning air is almost like a familiar song when you're familiar with it, you know? Same thing with New York. If I go to New York, I feel that same thing. It's like different. I mean, when you go to Wisconsin, I'm guessing that there's a feel to the morning air. Once the morning is done, it feels like every other place on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
But does it? I mean, in your mind's memory, in your memory, do you have a morning feel of Wisconsin, of Milwaukee?
I think so, yeah. If I think about
so,
that,
especially
yeah.
being right near the Great Lake, I'm sure that the Lake Michigan.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure that contributed to whatever morning feeling you had.
Yeah, we had the smell of dead fish sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if the breeze was right.
So,
you know,
the smell of dead fish becomes a good smell. It's kind of like I can't. Oh my goodness. When I first moved away from a city-type area, I mean, I was in the suburbs in New York, but it was city-like. I know this sounds weird, and it's probably even wrong, but I used to actually enjoy the smell of diesel fumes.
Me too.
Because it was
I
like,
love that
oh,
smell.
there's that smell.
Yeah.
It's like cigarettes. I know cigarettes are demonized, and you're supposed to hate them, but once in a while, I'll smell a cigarette, and it's like, oh, man. Those were good times. And I promise, and not that it matters to any of you, but I've never smoked marijuana. But I've hung around with a lot of people that did. I hung around with a lot of people, especially in my studio days when I used to do music in studios. And now and then, especially if I'm in Daytona or in the forest, you will smell marijuana, like somebody nearby is smoking it. And it's like, oh, that's such a great memory. It's like it's connected.
It is, yeah.
Your sense of smell connects you to the past in the same way that a song can do that, right?
Yeah, it can.
So that's kind of.
Very much so.
I don't know where I was going with any of that stuff. Well, maybe it's your mother's fried chicken.
There you go.
Maybe when you smell chicken frying. Whoa.
Yeah, you could.
Well, there's my
It's your
segue.
mom's
I need to
fried
talk to you about some chicken. Tomorrow, there's a ribbon cutting over at the new restaurant owned by Tim Tebow and Vinny Testaverde. The restaurant is called PDQ.
Yep.
The grand opening ribbon cutting celebration is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. PDQ, right here on State Road 200. The address is 3410 Southwest College Road. It's right across the street from the Ocean Buffet, is that what that's called?
Yes.
The Chinese restaurant. So the restaurant called PDQ had kind of a soft grand opening not too long, like a week or so ago.
Yeah, they did.
And we gave tickets away for something, right?
Yeah, free dinners.
So anyway, the ribbon cutting tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't know. I can't promise that the famous names I just told you will be there. You never know. Could be. I mean, it's their restaurant. How many restaurants do they own?
That's right. You never know.
But anyway, Tim Tebow and Vinny Testaverde own the PDQ restaurant, which is What does PDQ stand for?
I don't know.
Pretty darn tasty?
Quick?
Pretty
Pretty darn quick, maybe?
pretty darn quick?
Yeah.
It's like the other one across the street from there. What's the Panda Bear?
Panda Express.
Panda Express. You take a slow animal
That's right.
and you put a fast word. Panda
Exactly.
Express. It should be like Jaguar Express or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Panda.
Yeah.
It's like a
Jaguar
slow animal,
Express,
like
yeah.
PDQ.
The JE.
Pretty darn quick. It should be
right.
PDT. Pretty darn tasty or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Is it really important that it's quick? McDonald's has this thing now where you can order in advance on your app.
Really?
You can have an app, order in advance, so when you get there, it's waiting for you. Like it takes that much time.
Exactly.
And
You
how-
save 2 minutes, right?
How much time is it gonna? How much time is it actually gonna save you if you end up getting behind somebody? Hey,
That's right.
somebody's on the phone. See, the stupid thing with the phone now is in order for them to know that I've actually answered it, I have to put them on the air.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
So they're right on the air already.
It's technology.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Hey, hi guys.
Hey, Hugh, how you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. Had a great weekend. Hope you guys did too.
Yeah.
See, talking about the aroma and the smells in the air where you were born or raised, being from Milwaukee, born and raised there, and I know Robin probably can recognize this too, is the smell of the breweries, those hops cooking at Schlitz, Pabst,
Oh, really?
Miller, and all the other ones.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I mean, it's just something you never forget. Even till this day, when I get up there, if the wind comes off a certain direction, you can still smell those hops cooking in those breweries.
See, I can relate to that. I can understand that. When I was a kid, I used to go to Busch Gardens when they used to give away beer.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that or not, but yeah, I can remember that smell. So yeah, wow. Wouldn't.
I can remember Busch Gardens too. When we went down there, that was probably in the early '80s. You could drink all the beer you wanted to, and then we went again around maybe like '92 was it? And you were limited, and now I don't think they give beer away anymore.
Oh, really? See, I didn't know. My memory goes back to the '60s. Believe it or
Mine
not.
too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was Busch Gardens in the '60s. Free beer and a parrot show.
Exactly.
And the parrot,
go.
they
Yes,
always told you
yes,
the parrot.
exactly.
They always told you the parrot was a blue macaw. They always told you it could bite a broomstick in half.
Yes, they
And,
did.
and so as a little kid, what are we waiting for? We're waiting to see.
yeah.
Get a broomstick. Let's see. They never brought a broomstick out.
No,
Yeah.
never
Maybe
did.
they're looking for somebody in the audience to volunteer a finger.
All right. Thank you, Hugh. Appreciate that.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right. We're having kind of a fun morning, aren't
Free
we?
beer for life. That's probably what would happen.
Free beer. all the adults got free beer. The kids got
Yeah.
a parrot show.
Right. Exactly.
And now look at it. It's huge.
Yeah, humongous. Yes.
By the way, speaking of smells from the different cities, I wonder what it smells like in Battle Creek. Does it smell like Cheerios or does it smell like
Oh, yeah.
cornflakes? Does it smell
I've
like?
been through there.
I have too, but I didn't live there,
Cereal
so
factories. Yeah, I didn't
I can't
live there
say
either.
that every time I open a box of cereal, I have flashbacks.
No, I
Do you have
don't either.
flashbacks when you open up a box of Crayola crayons?
Oh yeah.
Does it remind you of kindergarten?
Yeah, because you can smell it. They're so sealed, and you
What-
open it. It's like wow.
So whatever city they make Crayola crayons in, those people, oh man, reminds me of home.
Yeah.
Reminds me of home. We should do that one day. We'll just have a special where we talk about the smells of cities.
Oh, there you go. You just created one.
Yeah, the smells of cities.
Yeah.
Where do they make Crayola crayons?
I've-
All right, we got something. So anyway, so tomorrow, the Chamber and Economic Partnership, boy, we went on a big detour there.
Yep.
They want you to show up tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the grand opening of the PDQ restaurant on Highway 200. It is owned by Tim Tebow and Vinny Testaverde, two well-known football players, and I don't know that there's any connection with football, but... And I don't know that they will be there. It's their restaurant. You would think that they would be there to cut the ribbon.
Right.
So
Exactly.
maybe I'll say that and more of you will show up. It's going to be fun anyway.
Yeah. And WOCA is a great ambassador for any of the ribbon cuttings around our community.
WOC is an ambassador, whether they
Exactly.
recognize us as an ambassador or just a mouthpiece. I don't know.
Exactly. That's the title, the ambassador.
All right. All right. So let's talk about this thing. There's a story in the news today, a big story actually, that lots of baby photos, lots of fitness selfies. These are photographs. Lots of medical records, lots of resumes are among the thousands of private communications
Oh my gosh.
scooped up by NSA spy programs. Edward Snowden provided the Washington Post with a batch of intercepted conversations. Most of the information was from internet users caught up in the sweep by communicating with a federal target, among others.
Gosh.
There's also a story yesterday in USA Today regarding how the government wants your doctor and your hospital to subscribe to and upload. Is that the word? Upload.
Upload.
Enter data into a national data bank so that all of your medical records are in there. Also, when you go to the grocery store, if you have signed up for one of those plastic coupon things, in other words, you just let them scan your card.
Yes.
It'll take off a few dollars or a few pennies from your grocery bill, but it will also record what you bought, what you purchased. So your purchasing habits are being recorded. And whether that goes to the government, I guess, is a question. I don't know the answer to that question. Also, when you go online, anytime you go to any site at all, there's a record of where you went. There's also a record of what you've purchased online or what you've looked to purchase, whether you bought it or not. And, you know, the logic behind that is so that advertisers can focus on you. If you're interested in buying a mobile home, for example, or I don't know why that came up, but
Yeah.
a piano, whatever you're looking to buy,
Right,
you'll suddenly
exactly.
see ads for that stuff. So that seems harmless so far, right? Maybe not, and that's where I want to go with this a little bit further. There was a story of a lady named Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, the actress?
Is she an actress?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she left some nude photographs of herself on her computer.
Oh, of course.
A hacker grabbed them and sent them to gossip websites, so I guess she's famous. A Pennsylvania high school issued laptop computers to students, and then the school remotely activated the laptop's cameras to watch the students when they were away from school.
Oh.
There's a computer program
Oh, that's
called
dirty.
Disconnect, and that program will reveal which one of your websites, your favorite websites, are spying on you. And guess what? Most of them are.
Gosh.
Amazon gathers information from you. Facebook gathers information. Google does. Reason.org, Cato.org. Don't know what those are. But a lot of them have your permission to do that because somewhere along the way, your terms of use was agreed to by you. That big long contract that appeared on your screen
Yeah.
that you scrolled to the bottom of, and then you clicked the word agree.
Exactly.
Well, you not only agreed to, pay for anything you buy, you also agreed to mediation in case something goes wrong.
Oh, there you go.
You also agreed to pay for attorney's fees if something goes wrong and an attorney is necessary. And you also agreed to share some of your information. You've also agreed to install some cookies to track your information, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And-
Get rid of those cookies.
Get rid of the cookies.
Dump them every morning.
All right, so the National Highway Traffic Safety Agencies wants black box recorders to be mandatory in all cars.
Oh.
The bureaucrats say they need that to keep track of how we drive and where we go. They say it's not about spying on you. We just need to know where you're going.
Of course.
Well, whatever.
Of course not. Geez.
They promise they
Man.
won't tell anyone. Alcoholics Anonymous is one agency that refuses to allow their information to be loaded into any government data bank. Although, how do they avoid that in some cases?
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And then the one about the medical, and I wanted to end with that one because this is the one that is the story in USA Today, in yesterday's USA Today. The federal government is rewarding doctors and hospitals for moving to electronic health records. They will soon punish them. Whoops. I'll just unplug something.
Oh, okay.
I think I just unplugged my headphones. It sounded like it went dead, but it didn't. They will punish, where was I? Punish them if they don't. They will punish them if they don't use electronic health records, even though those records currently make it easier for healthcare providers to defraud the government-paid health programs, according to fraud experts. The other side of this is the patient who goes to the doctor and says, I don't want my information shared on any electronic database.
Yeah.
And your doctor may say, well, it's for your good. Because let's say you're in Europe and suddenly you're sick and a doctor needs your information. The doctor will be able to get it. Makes sense to me, but still, shouldn't it be your choice?
Well, it should be.
Shouldn't it be your choice? If you say, okay, I understand it's for my good, but I don't want it. Shouldn't you be able to say you don't want it?
Yep, you should.
Right? Your doctor, according to this, is being rewarded for sharing it. According to this, the hospital is being rewarded for sharing it. And then worse, according to this, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, while they still don't require care providers to keep their audit systems on, there's a bill that says they will be required to. A 2009 federal law requires that certified EHRs, and let's see, an EHR is an electronic health record. Okay, there it is. A 2009 federal law requires that certified electronic health records have to be used in a meaningful manner. This includes e-prescribing, so that your medicines are all in that database, sharing health information, and allowing providers to submit clinical quality measures such as patient care outcomes. Health and Human Services has spent more than $22.5 billion in financial incentives for doctors and hospitals to use the electronic health record system. And those that don't will soon have their Medicare payments reduced. The push for electronic health records comes as funding for fraud prevention has been on a downward trend, though some funding is set to increase in 2015. Even though the Health and Care Fraud and Abuse Control Program and Medicare Integrity Program recover more than $8 for every $1 spent, the two programs only make up about 0.22% of the total healthcare expenditures.
You know, that's like when Dr. Ronnie goes to his general practitioner. He doesn't want to do that electronically, so Ronnie has to pay more when he goes because Medicare pays less.
Oh, wow.
So it's true.
So it's even affecting you personally.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
And this is the thing.
Because the doctor says his patients don't want it, so he's not going to do it.
This is the thing. If you don't want it, you should be allowed to say no. That's what I say. If going back to the online stuff, if you go online and you want to sign up for Netflix, and you see this big long contract, and you actually read it, and you don't agree with it, and you click I don't agree after reading it, well, you're not going to have access to Netflix.
Yeah.
They're going to say, well, okay, thank you, but no, we'll see you later.
That's right.
Right? That should not be the case with your doctor.
No.
With your doctor, you should be able to say, look, I don't want to share my information with anybody. And your doctor might say to you, yeah, and give you that same excuse. Well, what if you're traveling, whatever. You can say, I know, but I don't want it. I don't trust it, and I don't want it. You should be able to say that.
Yeah.
But that's not the direction we're going. We're going in the direction of you must. Now, who doesn't want it in in Ronnie's doctor?
The patients.
The patient, but the doctor's doing it anyway?
No,
Oh,
the doctor's not doing it.
Oh, this doctor refuses to.
Right, because he asked the patients if they want it, and they all said no, so they have to pay more out of pocket because the Medicare isn't paying as much.
Oh, I see. So he's already being penalized, but he passes on the penalty to the patient.
Right, but he does give some kind of a discount because,
Wow.
he's standing up for his patients'
I gotcha.
rights.
Wow. I wonder how.
Yeah.
Wow, that's probably happening a lot.
Yeah, he's standing up for his patients' rights.
Wow. I hadn't thought of that angle. So in other words, the doctors who don't want it still get penalized, but they have no choice but to pass on the penalty
Right.
to the patient.
Right, exactly.
So the patient ultimately has to pay for privacy.
Yes, exactly. True story.
When is Congressman Nugent coming on? Next week, right?
Yeah, a week from today.
All right. Well, maybe we can bring it up to him. I just think that that's pushing things a little too far.
Sure.
I mean, if we have a system that makes it easy, and you agree it makes it easy, and you want to be part of it, once it's explained to you, I don't understand why we should say why we should be forced for it. You know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the government always knows what's best for you.
Sure, they do.
So, I hope you could hear the tongue in my cheek as I said that. Anyway, anybody have any thoughts on this? Because I'm going to move forward. If you don't, I'll give you a second to call in if you want to say something. 622-WOCA is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. I just thought it was an interesting thing to bring up. And I'm glad you brought up the part that I didn't know, Robin, because I didn't realize the doctors, well, I knew they were being penalized, but it didn't occur to me that the patients, for the most part, don't want this.
Right.
And when they don't want it, the doctor then has to charge them more.
Right, because
Medicare
won't, and
pays
it's
less.
all itemized on the bill.
And Medicare paying less is how the government is penalizing the doctor, who then passes on the penalty to the patient.
Right.
But it looks like the penalty is going to be worse.
Probably.
So according to the article in USA Today.
But I mean, there's emails and there's still the phone. So, you know, if I'm traveling out of the country and something happens, they can call the doctor and the doctor will email whatever it is that those particular doctors need, you know? I mean.
Right. The old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Who's your doctor? What's his phone number?
Yeah. Or they'll just email it to that particular doctor in a split second. Why do you have to have it kept in a cloud?
And see, part of this article is talking about people fraudulently using this information.
Yeah.
The feds are pushing electronic records that make fraud easier is the headline in the USA Today article.
Yeah, I believe it.
Which was published last night at 10:13 p.m., according to this.
Gosh. Breaking news, right on top of
Jane O'Donnell wrote the article. Yeah. All right, let's push forward, and we will be back in just a little bit. And when Galen Unold is on from Life South, we'll chat a little bit with him. He brought his son up to the Appalachian
college,
some kind of college up there, which is awesome. And I felt for him. I could feel the pain of bringing your son up place. You know, how far is that? 800 miles away?
Yeah.
I don't know how far it is. Maybe not that far.
Still hurts.
But man, you see him and his wife in the photographs they posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
But then the other, I'll try to lighten it up. I've got something fun. I think it's backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
That you may have heard of before.
That'll be fun.
All right, we'll take a little break and let's see what we've got. The Monday morning race refresh. By the way, if you went to the Coke 0400, you already know you had to wait till yesterday.
Yeah.
That must have been some ride for those people.
You're not kidding.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA. Push the button, Larry. Push the button.
Eric Almirola wins the Coke 0400 at Daytona. I'm Joe Moore. This is the Monday Morning Race Refresher, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
Tony Stewart and Joey Logano shopping together at the store. You two must be best friends.
No. We're here with all the drivers from the Coca-Cola racing family.
Racing family?